This one moment changed how every human on Earth would walk. Because millions of years ago, our ancestors had nothing between their skin and the ground. No rubber, no leather soles, no shoes at all. Just bare feet against rocks, thorns, ice, and burning sand. So how did humans go from this to inventing one of our most important tools ever? Shoes. Stick around, because this story stretches back over 40,000 years. Let's go back to the very beginning, long before shoes existed. Early humans' feet were tough, but not invincible. Sharp stones could cut, thorns could pierce, ice could numb feet completely. An injured foot in the wild wasn't just painful, it was dangerous. If you couldn't walk or run, you couldn't hunt, gather, or escape danger. So somewhere, some clever ancestor had an idea. What if I put something between my foot and the ground? The very first shoes probably weren't shoes at all. They were leaves, bark, or grass, simply wrapped around the foot. Even a thin layer of plant material made a huge difference. Suddenly, walking on rough ground didn't hurt nearly as much. Now here's the tricky part for historians and scientists. Leaves and grass rot away in just weeks or months. So the very first shoes ever made left no trace at all. Scientists had to get creative to figure out when footwear truly began. One clue came from an unexpected place: our toe bones. Feet that wear shoes develop thinner, weaker toe bones over generations. Researchers studying ancient skeletons noticed this exact shift, and it pointed to something surprising. Shoes may go back over 40,000 years. That places the first footwear right in the middle of the last ice age, and that timing makes perfect sense, because ice age humans were pushing into freezing new territories. As humans spread north into colder climates, bare feet became a serious problem. Frostbite could cripple a person in minutes in extreme cold. But cold climates also meant something incredibly useful: thick animal hides. Hunters were already using animal skins for warmth and shelter. It wasn't a huge leap to wrap those same skins around their feet. This simple idea may have been humanity's first real winter boot. Just wrap, tie, and walk, no needle, no stitching required yet. And once one person figured it out, the idea likely spread fast, because a warm, protected foot meant a survival advantage for the whole group. Now let's fast forward to some real physical evidence. In a cave in the Republic of Georgia, archaeologists found something incredible: a leather shoe dated to roughly 5,500 years old. At the time, it was called the oldest complete leather shoe ever discovered. It was made from a single piece of cowhide, laced up with a leather cord. Simple, but surprisingly close to a modern moccasin design. Making it would have taken real skill: cleaning, stretching, and shaping the leather, then punching holes and threading a cord through, just like lacing a boot today. This wasn't an accident. This was engineering. But leather shoes weren't the only early solution. In a cave in Oregon, called Fort Rock Cave, researchers found something different: sandals woven from sagebrush bark, dated to nearly 10,000 years old. No animal hide needed, just clever weaving with tough desert plants. Fibers were twisted into cords, then woven into a flat sole shape. A strap looped around the foot, and the sandal was ready to wear. Perfect for walking across scorching desert ground. So notice something important here. Shoes weren't invented once, in one place, by one person. They were invented again and again, by different groups, using whatever materials they had. Cold regions leaned on hides and fur. Dry regions leaned on plant fiber. Warmer, softer climates sometimes needed less footwear at all. This is why early shoe designs looked so different around the world. Now let's talk about one of the most famous ancient shoes ever found. High in the Alps, hikers stumbled onto a frozen mummy. Scientists later named him Ötzi the Iceman. And remarkably, his shoes had survived over 5,000 years. They were surprisingly advanced. Waterproof deer hide on the outside, a bark string net inside to hold everything together, and soft grass stuffed inside for warmth, like natural insulation. It was essentially an Ice Age hiking boot, built for freezing mountain treks. Modern researchers were stunned by how effective this design really was. But shoes didn't stop evolving there. One huge leap forward came with a tiny tool: the sewing needle. Early needles were carved from bone, with a small hole for thread. This let people sew leather pieces together, instead of just wrapping and tying. Stitched shoes fit better, stayed on longer, and kept out more cold and water. Suddenly, footwear could be shaped specifically around the foot. This is roughly when the moccasin style truly took shape. Soft-soled, foot-hugging shoes appeared independently across many cultures. And once basic comfort and protection were solved, something new appeared: style. People began decorating shoes with beads, dyes, and symbolic patterns. Shoes weren't just tools anymore. They became identity, status, and art. As civilizations grew larger, so did shoe innovation. In ancient Egypt, woven sandals made from papyrus and palm leaves became common. Nicer sandals were often reserved for wealthier people or special ceremonies. Later, in ancient Rome, soldiers wore thick leather sandals called caligae. These had metal studs on the sole for grip and durability on long marches. Good footwear literally helped build and hold together entire empires. Meanwhile, in colder northern regions, people invented snowshoes. Wide, webbed frames spread out body weight, preventing sinking into deep snow. In wetter regions, people experimented with raised soles to avoid mud and water. Early platform-style shoes helped keep feet dry above filthy city streets. Over time, shoemaking became a true skilled profession. Dedicated shoemakers, sometimes called cobblers, appeared in ancient towns and cities. Shoe designs became more specialized: work boots, sandals, ceremonial shoes. Shoemakers even began custom-fitting shoes to individual feet. Eventually, shoes were shaped differently for the left and right foot. A small change, but a massive leap in comfort. By this point, shoes had gone from a survival trick to a global necessity. Every culture kept refining the idea in its own way. Leather boots, woven sandals, wooden clogs, fur-lined winter shoes, all different solutions to the exact same original problem. Let's circle back to where we started. One painful step on a sharp rock, multiplied across generations of humans, eventually led to one of the most practical inventions in human history. Shoes let humans walk farther, hunt longer, and survive harsher climates. They opened up freezing mountains and icy tundras to human exploration. They protected against injury, infection, and the slow damage of daily wear. And they became one of the few inventions found in almost every culture on Earth. From a single wrapped leaf, to a stitched leather shoe, to the sneakers of today, the basic idea has stayed exactly the same for tens of thousands of years. Protect the foot, improve the step, survive the world. So next time you put on your shoes without a second thought, remember it took thousands of years of trial, pain, and clever thinking to get here. From simple leaf wraps to stitched leather boots, every version was driven by the same human instinct: solve the problem in front of you. If you found this as fascinating as I did, let me know down in the comments. And if you're curious about more ancient human inventions, check out more videos just like this one right here. Thanks for walking through history with me today. See you in the next one. Bye for now.